Welcome back to Gabe Herman All-Star Sports. I'm your host, Gabe Herman. We're joined with co-host Rob. Rob, how are you doing today?
Good to be back with you, Gabe. Thanks for having me on again.
As you can see, we have a new studio behind us. I love the studio. Rob, how are you liking this new studio?
I want to thank all of our sponsors for the new studio, the new equipment. It's good to be in a high rent district.
Our plan for the show today, Rob, is we're going to have 6 featured NFL games we're going to predict. And at the end, we have our NBA draft, thoughts on the NBA draft.
Yeah, those top 5 picks. It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Great agenda.
Let's jump right in. So our first featured NFL game that we are going to predict is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington football team. I'm going to say the Bengals win this one 21-7. I'll be very disappointed if they can't. Burrow had a very, very impressive performance 2 weeks ago versus the Titans. I hope he can do it again here, and I think the Bengals will do the job, Rob.
I think you're right. They're going to a part of their schedule. They have 4 games, pretty winnable games. I think it's I know it's the Dolphins. It's this week against Washington, the New York Giants. They've got a stretch of winnable games. Let's save the coach's job and see Burrow in action. So I agree. I think they're going to win by a couple touchdowns as well.
Yep. The second game we're going to predict is Cleveland Browns versus the Philly Eagles. Rob, you know we're both Browns fans. I'm more of the Browns fans, and I know a lot of our supporters are from Cleveland. I say the Browns are going to win 24-21. Not as much as I would like that. Not as much as I would like them to win by, but they're going to get the job done versus the Eagles. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I agree. They need to win this game. The Eagles are a beatable team. They're not having their greatest year, so I think they'll win by 10 points. You think it's going to be a little closer, but I think they'll pull out the win.
Our next game is a good one, Rob. I definitely recommend watching this one. Two offensive powerhouses. The Tennessee Titans are going up versus the Baltimore Ravens. I say the Titans are going to win this one 35-21, a little bit of a blowout. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. It's going to be hard for the Ravens to stop Derrick Henry, and I feel like Ryan Tannehill is going to have a great game.
Well, Gabe, you've been dead on with some of your upset picks the last handful of weeks. You're pretty good. I think the Titans are poised for a turnaround. They've had a couple of rough games, including losing to the Bengals. So I think it'll be a really close game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think the Titans will eke it out. The Ravens have a little problem on offense as of late, so I think this will be a Titans win, but it'll be close. Good game to watch. You're right.
Yes, it's a very good game. Definitely recommend watching it. Our next game is going to be the Green Bay Packers versus the Indianapolis Colts. I say the Packers are going to blow the Colts out of the water. The Packers are going to win this one with no problem, 17-3. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Packers will score even more points. I think Indianapolis is an average team that may or may not make the playoffs. I'm with you on Green Bay blowing them out.
Our next game is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I think you guys know what happened last time. And if you don't know, the Las Vegas Raiders were the big underdogs. They upset the Chiefs, though. I say the Chiefs are going to win by 1 touchdown this time, 42-35.
I think the Chiefs are looking for a little revenge, and I think they're going to win, by 20 or more points. We'll see.
I could see a blowout too.
Yeah, and the Raiders have gotten to be a better team under John Gruden, but I don't think they're quite there yet.
So our last and final NFL game we're going to predict for this week is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I say the Bucs are going to blow the Rams out of the water, 41-17. Tom Brady's going to have a great game. Mike Evans is going to have 2 touchdowns. It's going to be a great game for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers will pull it out as well, maybe a little closer, but it looks like we're on par with the same picks.
Yep. Now moving on to the NBA draft. If you guys didn't watch the NBA draft, we're going to fill you guys in with the top 5 picks and give you our thoughts. The first pick, the Timberwolves selected Anthony Edwards. Good pick. I think that was expected, Rob.
Yeah, he'll complement Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell pretty nicely. Good for the Timberwolves, developing a nice young core.
Yeah, their future seems to be looking bright. The next team with the number 2 pick, the Warriors selected James Wiseman. I know he has a lot of talent, but he has not played a recreation. He hasn't played a real game in over a year, I think. So that's a little bit worrying for the Warriors, I think.
Yeah, I think with COVID, and he left even before that because he didn't want to keep playing for Memphis. I know he ran into some problems and maybe didn't have a choice, but he's been training for the draft for almost a year. But I think what's tough with the Warriors, I think he's a really talented guy, but losing, your star and Klay Thompson
again,
for 2 years, that's poor Clay, but I think he'll make an impact in Golden State, and we'll see what happens.
In a couple of years, though, this Warriors team, when Clay is healthy again and when James Wiseman has developed a little bit, this team is going to be scary, Rob.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Although Clay and Steph Curry are getting older, and with Clay being out for 2 years, they may not capture the dominance they had, over the last 5 or so years. So we'll see what happens.
At the third pick in the draft, the Hornets drafted LaMelo Ball. I think we all expected this. I'm just waiting for that LaMelo Ball, Michael Jordan 1v1, Rob.
What, LaMelo Ball or LeVar Ball?
I mean, LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball,
LeVar.
yeah, that'll be fun to watch because LeVar Ball will not put on his best face. But I'm not a huge fan of the Ball family. I know you're very close with LeVar. You guys have dinner every Sunday night.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, so I somehow the draft picks have not gone well for Charlotte. I think of people like Frank Kaminsky and others. So or Cody Zeller. So we'll see what happens. But LaMelo is a talented player. We'll see if he's able to make it in the NBA.
How long has it been since LeVar challenged Michael to 1v1? Has it been like 2 years, 3 years?
I don't know. You're best friends with LeVar.
I mean,
You call him
yeah.
up later today and ask him.
I'll ask LeVar.
Okay.
Now the Bulls with the 4th pick selected Patrick Williams. I think this was a really unexpected pick. He came off the bench for Florida State, averaging 8.5 points a game. I don't know what they're trying to do here with this pick, Rob.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I know that they were thinking when the Cavs were drafting number 5, they were afraid that a couple of players that they wanted would be taken by the time they got on the board. But I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. So good player. Hopefully he'll develop into a good star for the Bulls, but not expected.
And with the final pick in the top 5, the Cavs select Isaac Okoro. I didn't see them going here, but I definitely understand why they chose Isaac Okoro over someone like DG.
Well, some University of Dayton fans were hoping that Obi Toppin would be the Cavs' choice, and looking at his dunking highlight reel, it was exciting. And there were other candidates at number 5. Isaac Okoro wasn't necessarily top of mind, but the more I look at this pick, Gabe, what do you think his strongest suit is? I kind of like where they're going with it.
I like where they're going. I just wish I think they should have traded back to the Knicks spot because he was projected to be on the board when the Knicks picked. So I wish they would have traded back, got some more players instead of just not trading back and picking him at 5. But hey.
What do you like about Isaac Okoro?
He's a great defensive player, and he can play all positions. So I like he can guard all positions, and he's going to be a good defensive force on the team for the Cavs.
Yeah, they need that defensive mindset. Defense was certainly not their strong suit over the last couple of years, right?
Yes. So I think that's all for the show today, Rob. Thank you so much for joining me.
Good to be back, Gabe.
It was a great show.
And you pay well, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you guys all so much for watching Gabe Herman All-Star Sports. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.